Hello and welcome to Joanne's Healing Within TV show. I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, student of astrology, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck. Did you get all that? And anyway, how is everybody? And happy Sunday. And I think there's a lot of happy going around because I think we have Palm Sunday going on. We have, oh my God, Passover going on. There's a lot to celebrate today, but it's also Sunday, which is a day to celebrate in general. So how are you all doing? Before I dive into all of that, I do want to make a mention here to share, like, and comment, as we always have weekly raffle giveaways, and I'm sure we'll have one today as well. And if my guest doesn't, I always have something up my sleeve as well. So share, like, and comment. And know that we are on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and YouTube for anyone who's missed any episodes. Now, if you missed last week's episode, I had an amazing guest on, Tama Collins, who is and talked about, she is a marketing strategist and social media manager, and she does some amazing work. So if you are someone who has a business and you're not promoting your business on all your platforms, I highly recommend that you connect with her. I do believe there's a flyer that has her contact information. Please connect with her because you do want to make sure you have all your platforms up and going so the right people can reach you. So that was our guest from last week's show. And if you missed it, again, you can watch it here on Strong Island Television, or you can go to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or YouTube to catch that, because you're definitely going to want to. Now, let's get into the serious business before we get into the fun business. And the serious business is our advertising sponsors, those who make the show possible every week. And we have a slew of them. We have a whole list. So let's start off with Kendrick Greer, who's our astrologer. You definitely want to connect. Definitely want to connect because, again, I say I'm a student of astrology. He's my mentor. And there is a lot of energy going on as we've tuned into Aries season. And we're going to be in April season in just a few days. And there's a lot of energy going on that you're definitely going to want to know about because it does influence our relationships, professionally and personally. So please, 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 either tune in to connect with Kendrick Greer or connect with me. But for a more serious report, connect with Kendrick Greer. Then we have Todd Bradbury, which is our founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy. Nick Rafter, who's our writer, journalist, editor, and real estate agent. So any of you who have any writing assignments going on and you want a second eye, check out Nick Rafter for that. As mentioned before, our guest from last week is Tama Collins, which is our marketing strategist and social media manager. We have Eliza Bloom Robertson, who is our transformational catalyst, and she's our guest today, where we have our volunteer as well, which is Gail Nicholson, who the two of them are going to come together today and share what took place 2 weeks ago. So again, if you did not get a chance to watch our show 2 weeks ago, I highly recommend checking us out on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or even YouTube to get a general idea of what Gail Nicholson experienced 2 weeks ago during her quantum frequency healing session. But hang in there because at some point today, she's going to be sharing everything she experienced, and I'm almost positive you're probably going to want a session too because you're going to want to experience what she experienced. I've had a session and it's amazing. So with that being said, let's dive into today's energy. Now, if you've been watching my show week after week after week, you know that I am a big fan about the full moon and new moon energy. And today, as we speak, is a full moon in Libra energy. Now, for all you Libras out there, this full moon is your moon. This full moon is activating your energy. Now, for those of you who are not aware of this, the Libra energy is the opposition of Aries energy. So Aries are going to feel this energy just as much as the Libras do. And of course, we all get to feel this energy because we're all human and we all have some aspects of this energy in our chart. Depending on wherever the moon sits in your chart, will determine on what's going on for you. But do make a note that this energy that's going on today, when we talk about full moon energy, is about letting things go. Libra energy is about finding that balance, and it's a perfect time because, again, as we speak of Aries, the opposition, right now, Aries is in the sun energy, and we also have Venus in Aries energy as well, which makes this full moon energy very powerful to our relationships regarding finding balance in all relationships, intimate relationships, relationship with your parents, your children, your friend, and even professionally. So let go of anything that doesn't serve and that's clogging the system, so to speak, so you can get the most out of the relationships you are in and the new relationships that will be coming in as well. So what I like to do is shuffle up the cards, and while I do this, I like to invite you just to take a moment to take a breath. Become aware of your breath, which allows you to get more aware to your breathing, to who you are, and to give you that one moment to just reconnect with yourself. And while you do that, if you can, close your eyes, assuming you're not driving. And if you are driving, continue driving and keep your eyes open. But just focusing on your breath for just a moment. And just perhaps you might want to take a moment to check in with yourself and ask yourself, what relationship today do I want to work on and clear energy on so I can have a better relationship with that person? And that could be with yourself as well. It doesn't have to be with somebody else. So you get to fine tune this. So take advantage, one relationship that you would like to focus on. And let's see which card is going to show up and provide some insight for you in regards to the chakra system, a number that's going to provide a hidden message, and then we have an affirmation that can help us raise our vibration. So here we have it. I love the card that we have going on here. It's all about the solar plex. Now, for those of you who are not aware of your chakra system, the solar plex, excuse me, sits in the stomach, the belly. The solar plex is all about our power, and it's almost like our second brain. I always call it our first brain because our intuition sits in the solar plexus. And if you can learn how to really manage your solar plexus, where you get to connect with it and not manage it, let it guide you and be in that space of your power and feeling more secure and more confident with yourself and feeling safe in the relationships that you are in, that will help you to get the solar plex to flow better, where you'll be able to digest the relationships that you are in. And when I use the word digest, yes, digest, where you're able to take it in and really be happy in the relationships you're in, and accept the fact that each and every one of us are very different humans, and we all have baggage that we carry. So if you can just focus on one thing about every person in your life that makes them special and tune into that energy as opposed to the things that drive you crazy, you might find that relationship getting better. The affirmation is creativity. So here's an opportunity for you to utilize your creativity. Now, something that I tapped into a couple of weeks ago for myself, I always found that when you can tap into someone's creativity, what they're really good at, what they really like, what they like to talk about themselves, and use that as your key component to stay connected with them, your relationship will get so much stronger with that person. So if you were to sit with me and you had a challenging time in my energy, what you might want to talk to me about would be a slew of things. It could be chakras, it could be numbers, it could be colors, it could be energy, it could be oils, and you'll grab my attention and we'll have a whole lot of fun. The same way as if I was trying to get into your energy, I find out what you like and talk to you about it, and that will brighten you up. And that's the creativity. So you learn about who it is you're involved with and tackle into the things that they like. The number 66. 66 is all about the healing, the nurturing, the healer, and taking care of the home is the 6. Now, the home could be the shelter, and the home can be your physical body. However way you go, the most important factor here is when you start taking better care of yourself, that will then influence everybody around you. The double six is a 12, which works out to be a 3. And interesting enough, today I chose, I don't know if you can see it, but my beautiful turquoise crystal. And 3 is all about the communication, how we communicate with one another. And communication doesn't necessarily have to be with words. Communication is also body language and also energy. So I invite you that anytime you're going to get in contact with someone that you may not have the best relationship with, is to really tap into that throat chakra, tap into your solar plex, and really connect with that person with the most loving possible intention there can be. So that is our card for today, and I hope that you do use it and really work on that solar plex so you can feel more empowered by your energy around the people that you do associate with, whether they're a loved one or your business partnerships, whatever it might be. So with that being said, use this full moon's energy to help you release anything that does not serve you and those partnerships that you are around, whether it's professional or personal. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to have my amazing guests here and ready to dive into our topic for today. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for that breakthrough? If so, I can help. I'm Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformation Catalyst, and I support people just like you to move through into breakthrough, finding the place of empowerment and clarity about who you be and what you do. I'm offering a complimentary consultation session. Just simply email me at newhumanitynow@gmail.com, and I look forward to chatting with you. One minute.
You're on.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I have my amazing guest that I'm going to introduce to you in just a minute. I want to just review what I spoke about in the introduction based on our full moon's energy, which is actually today. And it's so important for you to dive into this energy today for more than just the fact that it's a full moon, but where this energy sits for today. It's a Libra full moon, which is all about balance. But then we have Aries and Venus, both in, Venus and the sun, both in Aries energy. And because of that full moon energy of Libra, it is so imperative for us to focus in on our relationships today of all sorts. And that the energy between the three are going to help our relationships get stronger to serve our most highest good. And the card for today was all about the solar plex. So really tap into your solar plex energy so you can feel more powerful and more safe in all of these relationships. Because remembering that every relationship we are connected to, every person has a reason to why we're connecting. No one comes into your life just to come in. Everyone comes in for a reason. So with that all being said, let me introduce you to Eliza Bloom Robinson. She is our transformational catalyst. And 2 weeks ago, she was here sharing a quantum frequency healing session, which she's going to explain about in just a minute. And in a little while, what Gail Nicholson is going to join us so she can explain what she experienced. So I'm going to give the mic over to Eliza right now so she can explain. And to answer to your question, Eliza, as you were asking, you have about a good 20-25 minutes to go over this. So take it away, my dear.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, what a treat to be able to demonstrate this, to be on your show, to be working with Gail. So the quantum frequency session that we did with Gail, uses a quantum frequency device that has built into it over 300,000 different frequencies. The reason that is important is because we know that we're physical beings. We know that we're mental beings. We even know we're emotional beings, all of that, human beings, right? But even beyond that, we are vibrational beings, and everything has vibration and frequency to it. In fact, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, begin to understand frequency and vibration. So this technology that we are using comes directly out of that. So when we run a scan, when I do a session, we basically set an intention, and using my quantum sensor, which actually identifies you in the quantum field, your bioenergetic field, which is far beyond your physical or even your electromagnetic field. It's in the information field, and it scans in relation to your intention, and it determines which frequencies that you could use, that you would be in most resonance with, in order to come into greater coherence and alignment with that intention. And one of the things that sometimes happens, and it happened a little bit with our guest, but we'll let Gail talk a little bit more about that, but because it works so profoundly in the invisible, in the quantum, we can set an intention, say for health or wholeness, or release from a particular disease or something. So, and what will come up will be something that goes like, wait, what? That's not what I asked for. But it comes up because it's working on deep core emotional subconscious, but even beyond that, it's actually working on a cellular level. So on a cellular level, and this is like all the science, like really broad. So I'm kind of taught kindergarten for, quantum master's degree. So, but to make it understandable. So if you're working on something and something unlike it comes up, like if you're working on peace and all of a sudden you're agitated all the time, it's like that's coming up for a deeper healing. So not that it didn't work, it's that it worked explicitly, exquisitely right. And I like to work with people over time because we just keep digging through the layers of it, basically, so you can come into alignment. So there's a whole lot that I can actually talk about this quantum frequency, but what I want to really do, and I'm still not clear, Joanne, if Gail's coming on now, or we want to finish this segment and then bring her on afterwards.
What would work better for you? Because I mean, theoretically, I just wanted this segment to be about what the quantum frequency was. So if we have any new viewers, that they would have a better understanding of what it is, and then we can bring in Gail. But she's actually already on the show. She's just behind the scenes right now. So if you need her on, we can just take either a quick commercial break to bring her in, and then go from there.
So let me just take another layer into what I said in sort of describing this work. And then we can maybe take a commercial break and then bring her in. So here's what we know about frequencies. When we are in high vibe frequencies, we feel good. But not only do we feel good, we be good. Because the higher vibe frequencies, like think about things like when you're in gratitude, or you're in love, or you're in a creative flow, or you're in a flow, like when life is like sweet, you are in a high vibration state. When you're in a low vibration state, and it's low, but it becomes dense. And so we've all had times like that too, where we get up in the morning, it's like swimming through mud or sand. And those are denser emotions and denser vibrations. So sometimes people think that they're stuck there. But the truth is, it's very simple and easy to pivot your vibration, but you have to be willing to get out of your own way. And when we pivot the vibration, when we land in a high vibration, or we use the frequencies to raise our vibration, it can feel like magic, but it is magical, it is miraculous, it is mystical,
but it's not magic, it's science. It's actually physics, quantum physics, brought into our experience. So that is super exciting to me because I've been teaching vibrational work in my work for 20 years. But now I've got the science that underpins it. It's like the science gave me the language when I didn't have a language for the spiritual experiences we're having.
And
So,
what makes that interesting before you go further, for
sure.
those who like the science to support, because there's many people out there who tend to not believe in this stuff unless there's science to support it. So this is really valuable because there is science to support this.
Very much so. Very much so. And if you want to explore the science, explore back to Einstein, into Tesla. There's all kinds of new, sort of new as in not Einstein era, but new era people who are playing with vibrations and frequencies. So it's super easy to go explore. And I've got lots of resources to that in relation to the actual device that I use, which, by the way, is an FDA cleared class 2 medical device for pain, chronic pain, and arthritis. And the FDA clearance says, and is also cleared for other non-medical applications that will help your mental and emotional bodies, which I think is fascinating.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Powerful.
Definitely.
That's mostly how I utilize the frequencies, but there is a whole science of frequency specific technique and the time waiver and lots of frequency devices out. But this one is the first and most accessible for a person, an individual, a practitioner, because it's affordable, it's wearable, it's portable, and there is no practitioner training, so to speak, to use it, although we get lots of support in learning how to use it. So it's very fun. It's very yummy.
Yes. And Eliza, if I can ask this question before we do take a commercial break regarding what you just said, someone like myself who does experience discomfort, physical discomfort, when they're getting a quantum frequency session, is it, I'm going to use the word normal, although that's not the word I really want, but that's what we're going to use for today. Is it normal that while and after the session that sometimes the discomfort can flare up a little bit more in the process of before it gets to that point of healing? Because I know for myself, with a lot of other healing modalities, that tends to happen where it gets, the pain gets a little bit more intense, but then that's when the healing's taking place and then it sort of disintegrates. Is that true for you?
That can be possible. And with this device, often the pain dissipates quickly. And if it's something that's more chronic pain, then there's layers that it's
Yes.
working on. You know, if you work with it over time, you're clearing layers and layers because it's not a symptom-based device.
Yes.
It's bringing our whole system into coherence for wholeness, for expansion, for awakening, and for all of those things. So yeah, for example, if we've got a bad knee, let's say, and it's hurting us, then something what might come up, it might come up for like you need immune system. And you go, what does that have to do with anything? But we're trusting the vibrations and the frequencies. And part of that is that 300,000 frequencies into 120 program packages. You know, there's a lot more going on and it's working quantum. A lot of times with pain, that pain will release immediately. But sometimes the other issues, you know, they take longer, and we don't make any claims about healing. We don't make any claims about that. But what we do say is, I'll bet this will help you feel better. And the
Good
other
claim.
Yeah, right? And
Good claim.
the other piece, and you experience this, I think, too, is often what happens is your system just goes,
Yes,
relaxed.
exactly. Exactly.
I feel expanded, quiet.
Exactly.
It's the first step always.
Exactly. Awesome. Awesome. And I'm sure the viewers are extremely excited to hear what has taken place for Gail Nicholson. So if you wouldn't mind, just let our viewers know how they can reach you before we do take that commercial break.
Yeah, so I am tagged. If you're watching on Facebook, go find me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. My name is Eliza Bloom Robinson, and my website is elizabloomrobinson.com. So two
Thank you.
easy ways.
Awesome. All right, guys. So this gives you a chance to run to the bathroom, get some water, and then come right back because the break is short. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR@gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com. Let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Natan Bredbury. I'm a veteran, Kabbalist, mystic, coach, and spiritual mentor. I have been blessed to help many students on their spiritual journey over the last 20 years. I am currently the founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy, and what we're doing is we're helping veterans heal from the inside out, overcome any sort of emotional trauma that they've been through. So if you're a veteran, a therapist, or a coach, and are interested in learning more about our program, you can contact us directly at info@mysticwarrioracademy.com. Blessings.
Hello and welcome back. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I have my amazing two guests now. I have Eliza Bloom Robinson, who is our transformational catalyst, who performed a quantum frequency healing session with Gail Nicholson 2 weeks ago. And that's what today's show is all about. But before we dive in, remember to share, like, and comment. Those of you who are here live with us will get your name in the bucket twice. Those who will be watching on the replay, going once, because we always have some sort of raffle giveaway. So, Eliza, take it away. Let them know what's going on.
So welcome back, Gail. I'm so happy to see you today.
Thanks.
So just a little background. I'm just going to sort of see the field, right? We were talking about how it's not automatic necessarily. It's not a magic pill as much as we wish it were. And it is at the same time. So when Gail was here a couple of weeks ago, we were working around an intention of releasing, well, you came in with like releasing obstacles or barriers, right, to abundance. And then we tweaked that intention to, I am in the flow of financial abundance. Mm-hmm. So we ran those frequencies, you experienced what you experienced, you shared about that. And then just to be totally transparent, Gail and I were connecting a couple of days ago, checking in so that we were ready for this show. Mm-hmm. And so Gail, I would love to know what your experience is. And I would also love to kind of do a little teaching and explaining as you share that. So awesome. The flow of financial abundance. How is that showing up for you?
Well, it's been very, very, very interesting because remember, we started out as removing obstacles, right? So even though we tweaked it, I think the whole thing kind of played together, removing obstacles so that I can be in the flow of financial abundance. Well, the first thing that showed up was a civil summons from a creditor in my personal life, which spurred me to start looking at an area of my life that I had been ignoring for a long, long time. See, I started my business thinking I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to pay back all these personal debts from when I was working in the 9-to-5 world. It just doesn't work that fast on Facebook, on Facebook, on the internet. No business works that fast, right? So I haven't been able to, and I've just been like, no, wait, I'll catch up. Just sit over there and well, they don't do that. They don't do that. There's always a progression on there, and doesn't matter how hard I want to ignore it and say, I'll be back to you soon. It's not happening. So I've reached out, I got some information on what it would take, and also found out there was a second civil summons that I haven't received yet, but that was recorded. So now I am in this process of gathering the things that I need to clean up my personal financial past, because those are the things that are getting in the way of me having financial flow currently. You're trying to build a new business and crawl uphill for that. Well, it's really, really hard to do with a 200-pound rucksack on your back that's just your past, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see how it all came together. But I got to tell you, it wasn't, like you say, a magic pill. It wasn't, oh, everything's all better now. Now I have some clarity on where to work on and take some actions to release myself from where I was imprisoning that financial flow and go from there. One thing that I really wanted to mention, though, and I didn't do this on purpose. This was an interesting accident. People have been telling me about these shungite and electromagnetic frequency radiation blocker crystals and stuff for a long time. And I had gone to a crystal shop this past weekend to get something for a gift for my daughter. And I saw like a little compilation necklace that had black tourmaline, galena, and shungite in it, right? So I'm like, oh, this is great, because I've constantly got my phone in my hands. I got at least 2 computers open in front of me. This will help a lot. Didn't even think about it. I'm sitting there one day, and all I can manage to do is just scroll through Facebook. I was so dense, so heavy. Apparently there's more rocks in this necklace than I needed, because it just whomped me right down to the ground. And it wasn't until I took the necklace off, because I was starting to lose rocks out of it. Isn't that interesting? More rocks than I needed. It's naturally shedding rocks for me. And then after I took it off, I noticed my energy change, and I'm like, oh, well, I wonder how that impacted with the Healy, because that's electromagnetic frequency. And was I blocking that? And yeah, I had some emotional like chaos going on. Like it was as if my field was Swiss cheese, and things were getting at me and other things were not getting at me. So I just brought that up because I want to make sure that other people realize that if you are getting a treatment from a Healy or any of those types of devices, if you're wearing frequency blocking jewelry, your results will be scattered, maybe.
And that totally may be true. And for you, it may be true. And what's happened, and you've shared some, is like you said, it is doing the deep work. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's not that you don't get to go do the work on the physical level, you get to. But when we talked a couple of days ago and you revealed a piece of resentment and we did another piece of work, mm-hmm. What you said after that, and I actually have it, what you shared was was that you relaxed, and then you were able to bask and constricted, and all of that too is
Yeah.
part of it. So it's interesting that the rocks, the obstacles, the barriers to your
Yeah.
fantasies are sort of falling apart.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Yeah.
fascinating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eliza, if I can ask a question regarding what Gail was experiencing regarding the summonses that came up. Because what I was sensing is due to the work that she was doing with you about bringing in more financial abundance, that the summoning actually came up because of the fact that she's tapping into wanting to heal the resistance to financial abundance. So something had to show up in order for her to clear the energy. Is that true?
It's absolutely possible.
Oh, okay, yes.
And that is how it felt for me.
Yeah. And that's why we say it's true for Gail, but it doesn't mean that we don't do a financial abundance with somebody else and they have a totally different experience.
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, the healing would be different for each person, yes.
Absolutely. But the intention, setting the intention and receiving the vibrations is going to bring up that which needs to be either dealt with or healed, or it will heal it. It will bring it up. Yeah, sure. So I think it's brilliant.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then Gail, the other thing that you said to me, and this is a quote, what ease and freedom can I experience today? What miracles are available to me today? So can you speak into, because we did a little frequency work, the Facebook Messenger actually, and then you landed in that space. So how was that? And how is that for you today, a few days later?
That was really cool. That morning when we chatted over Messenger, and I was like in the midst of that. In fact, that was I think right around the same time that the rocks started falling away out of the necklace. Yeah. But we were talking about that, and I kind of went back to sleep, like we said, basking in it. And when I got up, it was just like the heaviness wasn't there anymore. Remember my favorite word, cotton-headed ninny muggins. I wasn't feeling all cloudy brained. I felt rested. I felt like I could, do what needed to be done. And that, I think that was probably the same day that I reached out to find out about what do I need to do? What are my action steps? Now, mind you, my action steps are still freaking overwhelming. Okay. There's a lot of crap I have to do, and I have to keep, pulling the shame out of it, and the failure out of it, and the disappointment in myself out of it, and, keep forgiving myself and trying to stay as objective as possible. Nope. These are numbers. This means nothing about me. These are numbers. Right. And just get it handled. But yeah, there's an overwhelm and an apprehension about the emotions to do that work. So let me ask you, what would you recommend for programs to follow up so that I don't get again and just can't do anything, right? Because that's where I go.
So two things are immediately. Number one, first and foremost, buy yourself a healing programs. I mean, that was like such a setup. Thank you.
Perfectly aligned.
I know you've been thinking about it kind of sort of in the distance for a long time.
Yeah.
But number two, if you're not ready to do that, then consider getting some follow-up sessions. I mean, I do that. And like I said last week and even this week is I don't often do what we call one-up sessions, like most healing, right? Because one time you kind of get like things get stirred. Or 5 times or 6 times or one a month for a few months can really solidify you.
Yeah.
Some of the programs that are in here, one of them that comes up as you speak is the mental balance, which is about releasing the shame and the guilt and the victim and releasing all of that. Another one is within the job program. So it's like activation and concentration. There's bioenergetic programs, there's meridians, there's all kinds of different programs that are designed on a cellular level to bring our being into coherence so that everything then can shift and open up, including abundance, but including mental balance and emotional balance and physicality and everything, because it's a holistic tool. It doesn't ever address one thing. You know, if and I go, I need to fix my pinky, and it's going to come up as my liver, I'm going to go, what? Well, clear the liver and the pinky. I mean, I'm not saying clear the liver, he shows up, but right?
Yep, this is not
But-
medical advice. The pinky is not attached to the liver.
No.
That is not medical advice. And as quantum beings, they're totally attached.
Right?
Yes.
And yes,
Yeah.
there very well could be an energy meridian that the liver is signaling that the pinky is receiving it a little bit more than you're not going to sense it in your liver, but your pinky hurts. You might take a look at why it could be hurting.
And it also accesses our emotional body and our subconscious mental body. So if we have a pattern, or belief from lifelong or ancestral or whatever, that stuff can begin to shift and change too. So if you're not going to get sessions and you're not going to buy a healing, just keep peeling off the shame. Like we think, oh, shame is us. It's just like getting glommed. Usually shame is ours. So just like, oh God, I've got such shame. It's like, oh, let me just wash that off and be done with it. It can be that simple. I don't mean to say if somebody's really struggling in shame, I don't mean to say you're not doing it right, because shame is huge. But it's the other thing that we're doing is we're clearing it for humanity right now. So this big stuff, it's not just ours, it's ancestrally
Yes.
and for humanity as we're stepping into a new consciousness of new humanity. So just keep plugging away, and you know how to reach me.
Yep, I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly though, it's been very, very valuable to me, because I would continue trying to put icing on a poo pie until I had my back against the wall and couldn't, and unwilling to see that just ignoring and covering over this particular area of my life is what's keeping me from going here, because there's a little voice in the back of my head that says, this is going on. You don't deserve this shit. Period. Right?
Yeah. And
it's all within, my experiences, my beingness. It would never be the same for another person.
Right.
Right?
Except for that's a common pattern. So,
Yeah.
Right? I can't have this because I have this. I'm not worthy of this because I have this. And so clear the unworthiness, this shows up. Step into this and the unworthiness clears, because it's a spiral. It's not one before the other.
Yeah.
They go together. And you said you still have a mountain of things to go through on your to-do list. But when you get, and if we have time, we'll run a frequency for you. Then it's just like, oh, I just have to do that step, and then that step, and then that step. And pretty soon you go, wow, look at that mountain I climbed. Doesn't have to be burdensome.
Yeah.
When you land in that place of alignment.
Excellent. Yeah. Eliza, how long were they doing another frequency on her today? How long does it take?
1 minute, 20 seconds after we scan her.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, we definitely have time. We have about another 6 minutes before we have to take a commercial break and go to the conclusion of the show. So if you want to dive into that, let's do it now.
All right. So we actually were running the Gold program as we were starting. But Gail, I think I'd like to run the protection program on you because of what you were talking about, the protection stones and all of that. So Healy has a protection program.
Okay.
And so as we scan that, let me just pull it up. I'm pulling it up. The Healy works on an app. So I'm pulling up the protection. Oops, I got the wrong one there. Maybe that was by design. And so step into as I'm pulling this up, step into your intention of, I am in the flow of financial abundance, and just say that 2 or 3 times out loud.
I am in the flow of financial abundance. I am in the flow of financial abundance. I am in the flow of financial abundance.
And take a breath. and say, oh, I am in the flow of financial abundance.
I am in the flow of financial abundance.
And what came up for you in the protection programs was geopathy, subtle. This is all protection. Geopathy, subtle, general, electrosmog, and planets. And so I invite you to take a breath and really get yourself centered. I can say this to you because I know you know how to do that. In a session where we had more time, we'd take more time to really land there, calling into the container, landing in the container. And we will be vibrating these frequencies of protection around your intention to you, for a minute, 20 seconds. So take another breath. Say your intention one more time. Nice.
I'm in the flow of financial abundance.
And then simply open to receive for 1 minute, 20 seconds, starting now. And
Is it okay to talk through these?
I'd rather you just receive, be quiet, but I'm going to talk.
Okay. That's good.
So what I was going to say is, as Gail's receiving these, if you're listening, you can receive it too, because she's proxy for all of us.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's important.
And what you may feel is a tingly, a softening, relax. You might not feel anything, but the energies, the vibrations are being fed into your bioenergetic field, which means it's subtle. As we have a physical body, we have electromagnetic body, and beyond that, our bioenergetic field is actually in the information field, which works a lot on intentions, which is why it's super important to be clear on your intention. So just breathing into it, feeling it, noticing what you notice. Joanne, you can notice what you notice as well. Just a few more seconds here.
Are you ready for that breakthrough? If so, I can help. I'm Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformation Catalyst, and I support people just like you to move through into breakthrough, finding the place of empowerment and clarity about who you be and what you do. I'm offering a complimentary consultation session. Just simply email me at newhumanitynow@gmail.com, and I look forward to chatting with you.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR@gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Are you ready for
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just popping in, remember, share, like, and comment. And I have two amazing guests on with us today where we are doing quantum frequency healing follow-up with Eliza Bloom Robinson, who is our transformational catalyst, and Gail Nicholson, who's our volunteer. So Eliza, go back to what it was you were doing before. Let's take it from there.
Yeah, so we were actually scanning frequencies for Gail around the protection program but we were scanning frequencies. So we scanned the protection program and then we were starting to vibrate those frequencies when we were taken to commercial break. So completed that. We didn't know we were on commercial break, but we were. So we completed that. So Gail, in that minute 20 of those vibrational frequencies, what did you notice?
Well, I did notice a sensation of energy in my forearms. You know, I had my palms up. I didn't necessarily feel anything in the palm of my hands, but I felt energy running up the tender skin of my arms. And also entering into my back. Now, right now, my shoulder is not that big of a deal. It hasn't been this morning. I slept badly the right way tonight. So my shoulder's not that big of a deal, but there's like this little tense pocket next to my spine, which I was also feeling that tingly energy coming into. It was a lot, like you were talking about, it's subtle. It was a lot lighter and more subtle than the programs that we ran on me on the last show, where I could really feel that coming in and like interior massage kind of stuff. This was very, very faint, and not faint like weak, but very, you know, like gossamer, right?
Right.
Like that.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
I can't, that's pretty much all I'm really sensing out of it. I mean, there might be a bit of a difference apparent in how I'm speaking or the expressions of my face. You know, I feel like, I don't want to say more confident, that's not it, but more in my skin, more like I've got my integrity. And when I use the word integrity, I use it in a Star Trek kind of thing, like shields. Shields are losing integrity, outside things can attack. So I've got my integrity, right?
That's what,
Even if I'm
that's
not
really-
doing everything right.
I love though how you said that and how you got yourself to that point, because that's what I felt. I wouldn't have used the same language, but like Gail lined up and like her presence, like, oh, there I am.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah.
active to anything else, but just like, oh, there I am. Does that feel resonant?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And Joanne, what did you notice, either for you or for you were witnessing Gail?
Well, for me to start off with, I was definitely feeling a lot of energy in my feet, which was weird. Yeah, a lot of energy in the feet. And I think for Gail, even though she wasn't feeling anything in her palms, I energetically felt like that energy was literally coming into her hand and coming up her arm.
Yeah.
You know, so
okay.
even though she wasn't feeling it, I was probably feeling it for her. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very cool. I do a lot of groups, group harmonics. And when we share after that group harmonic, you know, from two people like we are now, or, you know, up to 15, 20 people even, it's like everybody has a little bit of a different experience, but it's almost like the full spectrum, so that every person, when we share, lays a piece of the mosaic in, and then we see this great big picture of the group harmonic, which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
So Gail,
Yes.
speak your affirmation again, and just like from the place of embodiment of it.
I am in the flow of financial abundance.
Okay, pause there. Like, did everybody feel the difference? Did you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Say it.
Not only did I feel the difference when she said it, but if you notice, when she said it, she literally stepped into it.
Yeah,
Like, her
I was
entire
compelled
body-
to move forward. I could not say it sitting back.
Yeah, entire body just went right into it. So I think that's amazing too.
So now as you go through the mountain of things you get to go through that are opening up, releasing barriers, taking the steps on the physical level, you come in and from this place. Oh yeah, I have to dot that I and cross that T and dig that one up and knock that one down, but I just am. And one more time.
I am in the flow of financial abundance.
And we see that in you, we own that in you, we claim that in you, and these frequencies are continuing to work in your field until they're fully integrated.
Nice.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. So ladies, this was just amazing today. And Eliza, I'm going to put you on the spot because I didn't ask you before the show. I never even asked you, in all the conversations we've had. But are you willing to give another giveaway of one of your quantum frequency sessions to one of our amazing viewers?
Absolutely, I am. And I gave away one 2 weeks ago and had that session. She said she'd be watching live. So if you are watching live, Norma, type us a comment. Let us know how your session was as well.
Awesome, awesome. So yes, and for all our viewers, in order to take advantage of this giveaway, you do have to be in it to win it. So share, like, and comment as you're here. And those who will be watching on the replay, you still get an opportunity by sharing, liking, and commenting. And before we actually end the show for today, Eliza, let our viewers know how they can reach you again, because I'm sure they're going to want to.
Oh, yes, please come reach me. It is Eliza Bloom Robinson, Eliza with an A. I'm tagged on the show, so come follow me on Facebook. And my website is the same, elizabloomrobinson.com.
Yes, excellent. And I'm sure the viewers are going to really want to get in contact with Gail as well to hear more about her feedback too. So, let them know how they can reach you.
You can find me on Facebook with my name spelled the way that it is here on the identifier, or by searching for @G2Nicholson. That's my Facebook and my Twitter. So you can reach out to me that way. It's the simplest way, I think.
Awesome, awesome. And I'd like to announce last week's raffle giveaway winner, which is Linda Boney. She has won the SWOT Analyst and Marketing Strategy by Tamara Collins. So please, Linda Boney, if you are watching, reach out. I'll post this on my private group, but congratulations to you. It's an amazing session that you've won. I've had a session with her, and like I said, anyone who has their own business, you definitely want to get a session with Tamara as well, so you get your platforms all up and running and coordinated with each other. So with all that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to come back with the conclusion of today's show. Once again, Eliza and Gail, thank you so much for being here. Eliza, thank you so much for sharing your healing gifts with everyone. And Gail, most thank you to you for being brave to come on and share the healing experience, because for many, healing can be a very sacred thing, and to be able to come on and do it live with everyone watching and being vulnerable enough to really sharing your experience. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. So yes,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back. Did you know that astrology and numerology influences your metabolism and weight? Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, student of astrology, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck. And I help women and men by referral release issues from their tissues while releasing emotional weight and falling in love with themselves. As I witness the transformation of watching each client become the best version of who they are. To redeem your first discovery session at 10% off, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I do look forward to helping you release your issues from your tissues and falling in love with yourself.
Hey everybody, Rob the Warrior Strategist coming at you from San Diego, California. And if you want help developing your own income streams and entrepreneurial systems, feel free to reach out to me at dragonsgold76@gmail.com. Thanks.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I had my two amazing guests on today, which if you're just tuning in, I'm sorry you missed the show, but please, please, please go ahead and watch the replay, or you can catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or YouTube, because you missed an amazing show where we had Eliza Bloom Robinson, our transformational catalyst, share the quantum frequency healing session, and our amazing, brave Gail Nicholson, who came and was very vulnerable to share her experience of her session. So you definitely want to take advantage and go watch it, because even though it was for Gail, you too would have benefited from it as well. Now, very quickly, just want to remind you, next Sunday's Easter, which I will be observing, so there will be no show next Sunday, but you can definitely take advantage of watching all the replays, as mentioned, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and YouTube. So go ahead and have a marathon, if you will. I would like to mention, when we do come back on April 11th, I will have my amazing guest, Natan Bradbury, who's going to be doing, I forget what he's actually going to be doing, but he's going to be introducing a healing session as well, because as mentioned, from this point on, I'll have many of my guests showing up and doing demonstrations to help each and every one of you as viewers understand the different healing modalities that are available to each and every one of you. Because again, every one of us are on a healing journey. Every one of us are spiritual beings having many human experiences. And when we can tap into our internal system and start to dig into what needs healing, these sessions are extremely valuable. And I do not want you to not know what they are. So definitely tune in every Sunday. We'll be back on April 11th at our usual time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. But till then, enjoy the rest of the week. Bye-bye for now.